Hello friend, welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in again. Today I'm talking about something that I don't hear talked about a heck of a lot in this industry, but it is true for me specifically in my journey and it might be for you. So make sure you sit down, grab a coffee and lock in for this one, okay? Trading was impossible for me for 3 years until I realized this one thing. For 3 years, I struggled. I never made money. I constantly gave it back. I was in the red. I was putting every single dollar I earned, which was not much, into my trading account, my personal trading account, into learning, into books and studying, wondering why I wasn't getting ahead, seeing other people who I was learning alongside overtake me and lap me. I felt like I was doing everything right. I was putting in all the time. I was dedicated to the craft. I didn't have a life outside of this. Yet I wasn't seeing any results. So I did what most people do in that phase of the journey. It's restart again, go back, find another strategy, thinking my problem was on the technicals when it wasn't. And I was reading a lot of self-help books, but even those weren't really coming to the core of what my big problem was. And now having reflected on my journey and making it through that phase of losing to consistency, to profitability, to full-time job, I've reflected and I know exactly what my problem was, and it might be yours as well. Have you ever finished the trading day and just said, why did I do that? Oh my God, that was so dumb. Like, Jesus, Chanel, can you stop making this mistake over and over and over again? Have you ever talked to yourself like that? I know I did. Almost every day, you take an entry that you shouldn't, you oversized because you were feeling confident and you didn't exit that trade, that winning trade that was at your take profit. You thought, I'll hang on a little longer. Maybe I can get it across the line and pass that account. And then it turns on you and takes you out for a loss. It's not because you're actually undisciplined though. And it's not because you're not cut out for trading. You can be a good trader. And it's definitely not because you need to jump ship and start trading another strategy. It's because of your nervous system. Your nervous system is addicted to chaos. My nervous system was addicted to chaos. Have you ever had that voice start questioning why things are going so well? Maybe you passed that account. Maybe you're up for the month. Maybe you're about to hit your payout. And then things start creeping in. They start coming into that mind and they start saying, man, things are going really well. Something usually happens when things go this well for me. Your nervous system doesn't trust peace. It doesn't trust calm. Most of us know how to struggle. We know how to struggle because we've spent majority of our life in struggle, on the hustle, on the grind, on the come up. So then when we enter this phase where it starts going well, we don't actually know how to handle it. We're like, oh my gosh, I know when things are hard, I know how to be, but actually when things start working out in my favor, you actually don't know how to handle that. You're not prepared for it. Your nervous system doesn't trust it. It's fearful when things are going so well. If you grew up in an environment where chaos was normal, where things were always changing, or where your emotions ran high, nothing truly felt stable. Maybe you were getting switched from house to house, town to town, school to school. Maybe you went through a divorce with your parents. Things weren't stable. You become wired for intensity. That's why calm feels boring. That's why the simple plan that will make you more money than the complex one feels like it's not enough. And that's why peace feels suspicious. Consistency feels unsafe. This really showed up for me on the charts where I was really overcomplicating my plan. I was learning from a lot of different people. I was taking my own research and knowledge, and I was trading on, filtering down multiple different time frames. I start with the daily, then to the 4, then to the 15, and entering on the 1. And I had about 10 different prerequisite criterias before I would enter a trade. When I realized that this simple plan was the one that actually made me money because it was easy to understand. It was easy to spot and I could show up and I just traded that simply. That's when the consistency for me skyrocketed. That's when everything started to click. It was the simple plan. But having a simple plan and then rewiring your brain to go, it's okay that it's simple, ignoring all of the things you hear on social media about what a strategy should be, Whatever makes you money is the best strategy for you. And then rewiring your brain to go simple is enough. That was a key turning point for me. If your nervous system thinks chaos is normal, then consistency is always going to feel like danger. Peace is always going to feel wrong. This is why you're still fighting and barely making any progress. This is why you're clawing at this journey, trying to get ahead. Because for your nervous system, it feels that the consistency is dangerous. Now, trading rewards the exact opposite of what your body is used to. It rewards stillness, patience, and neutrality. It asks you to sit in silence. It asks you to wait. It asks you to not react. It asks you to do nothing over and over and over again until the time is right, until that opportunity presents itself. But if your nervous system is still wired to think doing nothing equals danger, especially if you're falling into this hustle and grind mentality, that doing nothing equals danger, you'll create chaos just to feel safe again. That's probably what you're doing, whether you realize it on a conscious level or a subconscious level. So if any of that, what I just said, resonated with you, then strap in, because we're gonna go deep in how you can break free from the chaos addiction. Now, the first thing you need to do before anything else is you need to know your pattern. You need to have self-awareness. You need to start identifying how you are creating chaos in your trading. How is this showing up for you? Because it's all different for every one of us. You need to ask yourself, what are my patterns? Are you overtrading? Are you impulse? Are you overtrading? Are you impulsive? Are you revenge trading? What's your pattern? Are you too hesitant and fearful? When are you sabotaging most? Is it after a loss or is it after a win? Is it earlier in the day in the session or is it late into the evening when maybe you're getting tired? Is there a pattern in your daily life? Fight with the partner? Maybe too much traffic on the way to work. You never know. How are you feeling those emotional triggers? Something I do and something I get my students to do is they have access to this journal I created where they are required to do a mindset check-in every single day. Every day. Jump in and we're gonna log what's the emotional state before your session. Say you're trading Asia today, you log in, you go, I'm feeling neutral, I'm all right, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling low, I'm feeling anxious, and you're gonna write about how you're feeling. Maybe you took a loss the day before, so you're gonna feel a little bit more fearful about taking a trade today. People talk about mindset being the biggest thing in trading all the time, but what are you actually tangibly doing to be able to find out where your problem is and fix it? The other thing is what's coming up for you. What thoughts are coming up when trading feels slow or boring? Let's just say you've been waiting for a sit-up all session. It's coming to the end. You feel like you deserve an entry, right? You've been sitting there and you've been watching it. You've taken time out of your day to set your alerts. You feel like you deserve price to give you an entry. The markets don't owe you anything. You're just going to take a trade if it's there. If it's not, then okay, you come back tomorrow. There's another day. Keeping a journal of your emotional state, right? I just showed you mine. I just showed you what we use inside of my community. That's what triggered, what's triggering you? What did I feel? What did I do? You need to go in deep as possible. Sometimes it's actually a pattern you can easily identify and then course correct, but you don't know it because you're not bringing it to the surface. This builds awareness, and it is the first step in breaking any unconscious cycle. Okay, number 2 is regulate your nervous system. This is a daily practice. This should be part of your routine, like brushing your teeth and having a shower. Regulating your nervous system is important. Traders, we live in a heightened state of fight or flight, even if you are a very good trader. Even if you've been doing it 10 years like me, you're still activating a little bit of that limbic system in your brain, which is responsible for the fight or flight. A few things that I like to do are breath work. That's a big one for me. Breath work and meditation are the biggest ones for me. Having a cold shower, I don't like a cold shower, but putting your face and splashing that cold water into your face resets your nervous system. It really pulls you out and makes you super aware about the present moment. Box breathing is a big one. So before your trading session, you're setting in and you're breathing in for 4 seconds, you're holding for 4 seconds, and then you're breathing out for 4 seconds. And you want to increase that breathing out to 6 to 8, and you're trying to then bring in less air than you're breathing out. The breath work is insane. Once you start doing this and it's a regular practice, you'll be like, how did I not do it beforehand? 1 minute pause after every trade. Now, this for me is when I enter, but also when I exit, whether it's a take profit or a stop loss. You got to sit, you've got to quiet your mind, sit in silence. It's just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Close your eyes, feel your breath, count your breaths, feel the body, right? I try to do this before I take a trade. Just close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath in. And then systematically work through your body, like relaxing each part. You're going to feel it. Like right now you're sitting here, you're not relaxed. You're sitting here, you're tense. Relax your jaw. Feel it, relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Sink into the seat a little bit. Relax your tummy. Relax the whole body, go through bit by bit and just relax. Because I know what it's like, especially when you're trading. If you're sitting there, you're tense. You're probably straining your jaw. You're probably straining your back. It's just natural. It's just what happens when we trade. So you have to be really aware of bringing these things to the surface. Relaxation is actually a really big key for traders. Anchoring in structure. So if you're addicted to chaos, then rules feel quite restrictive. It's probably why you're here learning to trade, because you don't like the rule-based society that's been created. You don't like the boss telling you what to do. You don't like your parents, if you're young, telling you what to do. You don't want to be restricted by. You just want to do what you want to do, right? The freedom. You want to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Probably that goes inside with being quite chaos addicted. But this is where I'm going to need you to add a bit of structure, because structure is liberation for the dysregulated. So until you are a regulated soul and you can move freely, you do need structure. Like, we're trying to do this so we can have full freedom. But in order to get that full freedom, you do need structure to begin with. So I hope that this part's self-explanatory. But if it's not, and you're trading without a plan, session start times, your pre-trade checklist, do you have a max stop loss? Like, what are you doing if you haven't got that written down? Like, you need to have it handy, you need to be reciting, you need to know exactly what your rules are, and there needs to be a consequence that you put in place when you break them. Along with the trade plan, I have a bunch of rituals that I do before I start my trading session, before I even start my day, my morning routine, my evening routine. All of these things help build structure into my life, and that has been what's made me profitable, and it's really made me successful. Okay, number 4, rewiring your identity. You trade like the version of yourself you believe you are. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. Now, that's probably one you need to really sink in, repeat a few times. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your identity. It doesn't matter what your goals are, what your big end dream goal is. You're not rising to that level. You are falling down to match the level of your identity, what that is now. You're trading and you're showing up in your life like the version of yourself you believe you are deep down. If you're not happy with your results, you keep spiraling, you keep going, progressing, and then swinging right back to the beginning. You don't have the identity of a trader. And until you build that out, you need to do these seemingly quite simple things, but they do work. And that's to create your trader identity statement. You need to have it written out somewhere. You need to say something aloud. Like for me, it was, I am calm, I am a consistent trader, I trust my plan, and I profit from simplicity. I would say that every day. Anytime. If I'm on a walk, it's an affirmation. It's the repeating process of sinking it into my subconscious, because if you don't believe it and you say that once, your subconscious is just going to disregard it instantly. You're like, I don't believe that. No, I'm not consistently profitable. In fact, I don't really even trust my plan. And I don't know if I can profit from simplicity. I've got no proof yet. So the way to get over that is to repeat it, repetition, over and over and over and over again until it sinks into your subconscious. I would say it, I would journal, I would meditate on it, I would stick sticky notes all over my house, on the mirrors, in the fridge, wherever. Something that when I'm going through my day and I'm not being present and my subconscious is running the show, and I would like open up the fridge and there sticking on the orange juice would be my trader identity or something like that. And I'll be like, snap back into it, be like, okay, right, that's that. Okay, good. It's made me conscious again. Okay, this is the last one. Most traders watching this are following the exact same chaos loop. every time you sit down to trade. It might differ a little bit. Like today you might have revenge traded, whereas yesterday you were too fearful and didn't take the trade. But it's the same chaos loop every single time. What I would recommend that you do before every session, before every time you sit down to take a trade, is you do a sensory interrupt. Do you see kind of the theme throughout all of these? It's to interrupt your subconscious. Your subconscious is running the show. And if you are not where you want to be, then it's not doing a good enough job. And you need to interrupt it so your conscious mind can take over again, so your nervous system can regulate properly, so you can start dissolving that addiction to chaos you have. And you can only do that if you're consciously aware. Before every session, do something that's going to snap you out of the normal. Play a bell, a gong, an audio clip, light a candle. That's something I would do. That's a big one for me. People talk about the senses, right? Creating this environment for abundance and profitability, or even just work, right? Like having the senses. So you might have the lights turn on a certain color, or you might play some music that playlist that's only, a binaural beats or some kind of flow playlist that's only for your trading. For me, I like to also set a candle. I have a specific, it's coastal sea salt candle, and I like to light that before the session. Let it go around. It means, for me, I've connected that mentally to profitable, calm trading. And the other thing that's just behind my face here, I did not map this one out very well, sorry about that, is touching a grounding object. The photo there is my setup from a couple years ago back in New Zealand. And this crystal pyramid right here was my grounding object. So I would pick that up, and it was cold, and I would spin it around, and I would feel it in my hand, and then I would place it back, and I would do that. It's kind of like a ritual. It kind of snaps me into, what am I doing? I'm trading. I'm being sensible. I'm trading my plan. And then I would be able to progress from there. All the things I just described to you, it disrupts your automatic neural pathway of you sit down, you scan the markets, and you impulsively react. Forces your prefrontal cortex, a part of your brain that we want to activate because it's responsible for smart, logical decisions. If you start doing all of these things, you will break that chaos loop. The hard part about the chaos thing is it's not your fault. You're a product of your environment. Society, your childhood, everything has merged you into this way, but the chaos loop doesn't serve you as a trader. And you need to break through from that. I think the work that actually needs to be done for you to be an actual profitable, consistent trader is a lot deeper than this like fluffwood psychology or mindset. Like, what does that actually mean? For starters, it means breaking your chaos loop. Most people are going to watch this video, they're going to start it, realize there's not some free indicator or something that they think is going to 10x their money, and click off and go watch someone talking about a cat dog coin. But if you made it to this end of this video, you are going to make it. Like, if you do all these things, you will make it. This is the secret sauce. This is the hidden secrets right here. And they're not that hidden, it's just you're not doing them. You start implementing these things into your life, into your trading routine, you will see improvement. 100%. So I'd be keen to know, though, in the comments, what are your trading routines like? What do you do? Do you have a ritual? If you do, let me know. I will be so keen to hear. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.